Spike it up, holding on. Trigger, you've done it, you champion. Spike it up, wins, goes to the lead. John's going to take out the Dudley Justice. And that's Mr. Ali. It could be. He's fighting back. Oh, look at him. Spike it up, does it.
And welcome to Mobile Rolling, episode 6. Lovely to have my co-host back this week, Jimmy Jakes, after recuperating from the tumble he took in the tipping the week before.
Oh, is that why I wasn't here?
Yeah, still, nursing the injury, okay. So that's fine.
Yeah. Okay.
But it's good that you've shown the courage to come back this week.
And the people watching this are not as stupid as what you think.
But anyway, it's good to have you back, mate. I enjoy your company and I enjoy the fact that your tips are pretty average at the minute. So that's
well, I can't argue with that. You know, I did go bang, bang, and then I went flop, flop. But, you know, you've gone flop, bang, flop, flop, bang, flop, flop, bang, bang.
That's right.
Yeah.
So, mate,
again, you have had more episodes to choose from, but anyway,
that's true.
No doubt that you'll probably later on. I'm predicting even later on you won't even turn up for a segment, so you can get your tips sorted out. So we'll see what happens there.
Maybe that's true.
Yeah. But anyway, look, on today's show we're going to catch up with Ray Lemon. All right.
Very good.
Should be an interesting story. Leanne Ewen from Harness Racing SA, and obviously the betting segment we'll do later with yourself and JB, Jack Bashara, and Wayne Hill's going to catch up with Liz Barbaro on certain issues there as well, where they're going to be talking about barrier draws. But go on, you were going to say something before I rudely interrupted you.
No, sorry for talking while you interrupted, mate. That's fine.
While we're talking about that, there's no trots Monday, public holiday Monday, so no Globe Derby Monday.
But I am hearing
Port Perry's called off Friday.
Yeah, that's disappointing, isn't it?
First predictable, possibly.
I am hearing that Sky Channel in Sydney are really keen to for us to vacate Monday afternoons and go to Tuesday nights on a very regular basis.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
And we spoke, and I'd love to get the betting turnover sheets, because when I spoke to you the first time, you thought that the turnover was around about the same as what you'd been told.
With the little investigation that I did, I thought that the turnover was very similar to what we did on a Monday, but it was a bit hard to gauge because they'd thrown on extra jackpots on that Tuesday night meeting that we had. Okay, which obviously, if people are going to bet into the jackpot trifectas, then they might also have a bet on the win and place and other areas as well. Okay. So I don't think that Tuesday was a absolute rubber stamp guide to it, but it was a guide that it was very similar.
It might, to me, I like the night trotting anyway, which it will be.
Yes.
But is it an advantage to go Saturday, Tuesday? Does it give the horses that extra day to recover? Or
I think so. Yeah.
I think so. So that side of it will be
that would be a positive as far as the trainers are concerned. I reckon. Yeah.
So I don't think that news has been confirmed, but
I'm
hearing it's pretty strong.
Well, you've always got your finger on the pulse.
Of Sydney, so we'll see, mate. Yeah. Claiming series starts this week. Looking forward to that.
Yeah, that's exciting. Going into a $17,000 final after they go through heats. And some of the rules of that are quite interesting, where people cannot claim the horses during the heats, but they can claim them on the final night. And if any horses through that series, they still have the option to claim them, I think, on final night.
Yeah. So, it is interesting.
And they can't change their price either.
So
once they lodge the price, which we've got for Saturday night, that's the price they stay all the way through the series.
Which, I mean, stopped us from nominating one of mine. Yeah. Because for us to get into the race and be a realistic chance, he likes to find the fence. Okay. And we would have to put him in at, around that $5,000 mark, and we believe he's worth more than that. So, and you're not guaranteed to win the $17,000 final just because you find the fence and get a good run. So we took him out of the series, but I'd love to have been in there and gone into, say, a $10,000 price, but he would have drawn anywhere, and maybe a waste of time. So we'll try and find some other races.
I think these series are
very good.
I like the series and how they accumulate points to get the finalists at the end of it. I think this is a 5-heat series or a 5-round series, so it should be good.
You're right. All right, mate. Well, we've got a lot to get through. We've got Ray Lemon after the break for our first guest, talk about dashing through the fire and his history in the game. So look forward to speaking to Ray after the break for sure.
See the boys down at Modry Battery Services. With over 40 years of experience in batteries, stocking the largest range in supercharged batteries with more power, longest life and battery warranty. So specialising in auto electrical and aircon regas and repairs.
Welcome to Mobile Rolling, and Rocky, we've got a very special guest. Ray Lemon joins us. Ray, welcome to Mobile Rolling.
Thank you very much.
Good to see you, Ray.
Ray's got a few hats that he wears. One is the president of the Two Wells Harness Racing Club, but we've got you here as a man that trained the winner, dashing through the fire and talking about his history. But you've got a big family history that maybe a lot of people don't realise. So tell us about yourself and where you started from in harness racing.
Yes, we originated from West Wallam, and my brothers and the three brothers are all been training horses. One was a bookmaker and drivers, and that's where I kicked off. And we started training them. We used to drive them to school. That's how long in the tooth I am.
Yeah. So your dad already was involved in training horses?
No. He was in the last of the old teams.
Yep.
And Clive, my oldest brother, he basically got us into the trotting industry.
Yep.
And Dad said, "Oh, that'll keep you out of the pub." Yeah? Did for a while. Work? Only for a while.
Yeah, they got a few winners and they had to celebrate. Yeah. So you started driving at a very young age?
16. Yeah.
16, yeah.
Yep.
All right. And do you remember your first winner or?
Yeah, Toddy Peak would have been my first winner. A place called Junee, actually, the last day meeting at Junee.
You ever been to Junee Trots, Rocky?
No, but I love that area. There just seems to be so many tracks in such a small area.
It's a beautiful area.
Yeah.
And I've been to West Wyalong once when we did a trek of country tracks and went to Broken Hill, or Mildura Broken Hill, and then off to West Wyalong, and then up through a few others, but I didn't get to Junee. So yeah, that little area fascinates me because there's just trotting tracks everywhere.
Yeah, there is. Like, it's so central to Forbes, Parks, Grenfell, Cowra, Wagga Wagga, Leeton, Griffith.
Yeah.
You know, all within 200 kilometres.
Yeah,
it's pretty
I've
good.
been to Wagga Wagga.
Yeah.
And I've called nearby Wagga Wagga, and for the life of me, I can't remember. What's the meeting they have the Anzac Day meeting at?
Usually the biggest one is at Forbes.
Okay.
We actually won it one year with a mare called Violet Shine, and we opened up at 25s, and we beat a horse called Cocky Raider.
Yeah.
Wow.
Jeez.
So we had I think the brother bought a new car that day.
Yeah. But also, you won a major trotters race as well. I remember finding that out somewhere along the line.
Yeah, I won the Trotters Cup in Harold Park in 1971.
Yeah.
And he was a horse that was brought over from New Zealand, and he'd had 4 starts for 4 lasts. And he was in the paddock, and I had 3 mares down there racing at the time, and I said, a couple of people asked me to break horses in, so I used him to break them in, and that's what made that horse. Like, I gave him 12, I give him 1 start, he was dead heated, then I won the cup on him the next week, and Cyril Caffin pushed me out and I pushed him in, and he got a month and I got a month. So it's the only suspension I've ever had.
Okay.
And then they took him away, and they gave him to Sutton McMillan, and Sutton got me to come in and drive him, and the next year, and he's running 5th and broke his head check, and so that was the end of it. Yeah. But he was a cantankerous old bugger.
Yeah. And I think from memory, before you come to South Australia, were you in the Mildura area?
Yes, I got out of the game and went overseas working for nearly 17 years, and then came back, and the kids were growing up, and we said, we'll buy a breed mare, and then we bought another one and another one. The disease hit.
Yeah.
And, but at that time, we had the cramps growing around up there, and it was just impossible to win a race, So I decided to come down here, and I got a couple of horses, Old Cosmic Under Fire and the Nature Boy, and won a few with them, and Kenya Pella Hanover, and then basically just went back into. I do a lot of preparations for the yearlings, for the yearling sales for a lot of people, and that's my job, I suppose you'd call it, to keep that going.
Yeah.
It's these journeys that you hear about, they're so fascinating for me to see where some of these older generation blokes have been to ply their craft, and then when they get out of it and come back in, because I always say the same, how the hell do you get out?
Yeah.
Once you're in, and you found it probably hard to leave driving and stuff to go into race calling.
Yep.
And for me, when the trots were cancelled at Barmera, it was like someone chopped off my arm when I was 15, and you just think, what am I going to do now on my Saturday nights, and sit in the main street watching the floats go up to the trotting track. So it's great. Back in that, I'll keep going back to the where you started from. Why were there so many trotting tracks in that area? What populations were you talking about in these small towns?
Well, at that time, like I go back when the Hartleys were very, very big trainers.
Yep.
Yeah? Roy Hartley, old Eric Hartley, his father, Alan Hartley. And there was a lot of professional. The Walkers, there was just that many people there.
Yeah.
Big families, and old Len Walker, like he had Sandy Volo and a couple others, and they'd have anything up to 50 horses.
Wow.
Yeah, and like you had Sylvie Bray, which stood deep Adios there. There were some very well bred horses bred in that area, and still is. But not as much as it used to be. But that's the general thing with harness racing at present.
Yeah. It's a good story, but one of the biggest stories that we want to talk about is Dashing Through the Fire, because the emotion, like I interviewed Danny Hill on the radio on Monday, and she said to me, Jimmy, she said, it made me realise what harness racing's all about when she drove Dashing Through the Fire home and got down the stalls and saw the emotion of your family about when she had the victory.
Down the outside, running on was Dashing Through the Fire. Kiang Shake and Bacon Roll Yo. Miss Heston's carved up. Dashing Through the Fire goes to the lead. Miss Heston's kicking back though. Miss Heston and Dashing Through the Fire, but Dashing Through the Fire beats either Miss Heston or Kiang Shake and Bacon.
Yeah, there's a bit behind the scenes leading into it, obviously.
Yeah, there is. Timing is the big thing, and but it would have been nice the week before when she was 150 to 1.
When she ran third, when Cole Costello drove it, she was a bit
very
stiff.
good drive.
Yeah, a bit stiff.
But that's racing, isn't it? And any win's a good win.
Yeah.
And hopefully there's a heap more in her.
No, that's good. So you've seen the improvement all the way through now that she's over the injury and...
Yeah, she's just been injury after injury after. The last 4 years, it's just been a nightmare. And like it got to the point when I was bringing her back, she'd go to the trials, she'd get hit or something had happened, and then out again, and then the stewards, they just kept the door open, just go straight through.
The Ray Lemon door.
So, she's. I'll just give her a couple of weeks off, and she's a mare with above ability, but she's just been a total nightmare.
Yeah. So what's some of the injuries she's copped, right?
Well, she cut her back leg, and that took me probably 4.5, 5 months.
Yep.
And then I got her back into work, in work 6 weeks, and she'd done the same leg again. And that took forever because it was on old scar tissue, and it takes a long time to heal. And but after that, then she was going really, really well, and I thought, we've got you. And then bang, she got hit in a race at Globe Derby.
I remember that one.
And that was December the 24th, so it's taken me nearly 12 months to get her just back to that. And she's a very well mare. Like if you walk past with a bucket, she'd get fat.
Yeah.
And that's a big problem with her.
Yeah.
She's the cheapest horse to feed.
Yeah.
And so she didn't lose any confidence or anything after the...
Did a bit and still is a bit. And I've said to Danny and anybody that drives her now, keep her one out. Don't get her on the fence because she gets that.
It's scared. She's expecting to get clobbered.
Yeah. So it's
But that's something we just take for granted sometimes, don't we? The horses.
Their minds can really blow you undone. They really can.
They can.
But I said to Danny, just keep her one out, and she'll be right. And she said, I'll just come for one run. I said, yep, that'll suit her.
Yeah.
And she's still not totally fit. You know?
Yeah.
So I know there's improvement, but
Oh, that's fantastic.
But yeah, it's just good for her breeding too, and a family. It's a brilliant family. You know,
Well, how old is she now, Ray?
she's 8.
Okay.
I got her as a 3-year-old.
Gee.
You haven't even had 20 starts yet.
No, I'm worn out a lot of shoes on her, but not a lot of kilometres to get her to the races.
Yeah.
But
Oh,
she's,
fingers crossed that things are turned.
yeah, well, hopefully her luck's turned, but otherwise, but I was going to put her in foal this year, but I've decided, no, you just owe me too much.
Yeah.
So I've got to try again.
Yeah, fair enough.
You don't drive anymore, you've given up driving?
Well,
You're a fairly tall bloke, aren't you?
yeah, I hold the record of being the tallest driver in Australia.
Yeah?
And
What do you stand at?
6'8".
Yeah.
And my twin, he's the runt of the family. He's only 6'4". Yeah, I was the tallest driver, but I just put on too much weight.
Yeah.
Look, yeah, you get Danny Hills and Sam Pascoe's and Michael Smith's and those, like, yeah, there's 47, 50 kilos. You know? And like, yeah, I've just got to top those scales a bit.
Yeah.
And I'm 68, yeah. It gets to the point where we don't bounce.
Yeah.
And we don't think as quick neither.
Yeah.
But I still do my own chewing and all that, so something to do. Keeps me fit.
All right.
Yeah, that's good on you.
Well, there you go. There's a bit of history about Ray Lemon. Ray, thanks for being part of the show
you.
on Mobile Rolling. Interesting story, right? Isn't it?
Love the old stories, mate.
Love it.
Yeah.
All right. We'll take a break. We'll come back and Leanne Ewen will be coming from Harness Racing SA. We're going to find out what's on at Harness Racing SA. We're located here at New Spot Motor Group, 2020 May North Road at Salisbury Park. They've got a magnificent array of vehicles here for you to look at. Paul Kavanagh will be able to help you out with his great team. They're good supporters of harness racing in South Australia. You go to Globe Derby, you'll see the New Spot Motor Group vehicle there, and there's plenty of vehicles here at Salisbury Park. So come and see the team at New Spot Motor Group. They'll look after you really well. Welcome back to Mobile Rolling. As you can see, Rocky's busy doing the tips, so he'll be back with us again shortly. But our very special guest here is Leanne Ewen from Harness Racing SA. Leanne, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me on, Jim.
Our pleasure. Great to have a beautiful person in amongst the group. So we got rid of Rocky and we got the quality.
Is there someone else coming in?
No, I'm talking about you.
Oh.
All right, now, you work for Harness Racing SA. What's your role now?
Okay, I'm executive assistant now.
Yep.
Yeah. So
To
the board and management.
Okay.
So
all right.
Yeah.
So now you used to work for Harness Racing SA. Then I think you decided to take a path of your own business, and now you've come back. So tell us about the transition there.
Yeah, I did. I was at Harness Racing for probably over 10 years.
In the racing office, were
Yeah,
you?
in the racing office. So worked under a few chairmen and stewards as well. So a few come and go in the office. I was in there for about 10 years, and then I left. I bought into a gym.
Yep.
And
Not this one.
No, not that gym. Not that gym.
A really fit gym.
Exercise gym. And I was there for roughly 2.5 years, and then had a few other jobs in between. And the opportunity came a begging again, and I jumped at it. I thought it was a great opportunity.
So you've enjoyed all your time at Harness Racing SA, working there?
Yeah, definitely a challenge, but it's kind of passionate about the industry and love the horses, and when your family's involved as well, and seeing other families involved and now their kids like coming through the ranks, it's a wonderful family.
Yeah, and you said that years ago when you were in the racing office you worked under so many chairmen and stewards. Now you're working under another one. Did you predict that Simon, your husband, was going to be the chairman of stewards back then? There was always a chance.
There
wasn't
was,
there?
there was. There was always a chance he was going to be, and I always knew he would be.
Yeah.
I think it was in him, but had no idea that we'd be working together. Again, we had a business many, many years ago together as well. So here we are, back working together, but no, it's all good. He's downstairs and I don't see a lot of him while we're at work. So.
Yeah. Do you drive together to work and go home together?
Some days.
And you just talk about work on the way there, talk all the way about work when you get home?
Pretty much. Most of the time.
Oh, well, you must love it there.
We do.
Yeah.
We do.
Look, some of the areas that we want to talk about is the special events that are coming up within Harness Racing SA. So where do we start?
Okay, so probably the first event we've got coming up, October 25th, Friday, October 25th is Horse of the Year dinner.
Yep.
It's being held at Mawson Lakes this year, so it's northern, it's close to everybody. It's on a Friday night. There's no Mildura events around it, so we are hoping for a really big turnout to this. It's really an opportunity for industry participants to get behind all of our trainers, drivers and horses that have had so much success throughout the year, and really show them appreciation and showcase what they do. Yeah. So, you know, we don't have many big events. We don't get much opportunity to dress up outside of the races much.
Yes.
So, yeah, I reckon it's a great night just to get together a family or a table of people and just go and enjoy the night. And
yeah. Okay. Well, that's the 25th. So there's got to be a cut-off point for people to put their name down to be part of that. So
yeah.
Is there a date that you'd like to pronounce as hopefully to get your interest numbers
yeah,
in? Yeah,
there is. Mawson Lakes have given us, we've really got to cut off numbers by Monday the 14th of October, just so that they can cater enough for it. We can up the numbers from there, but even if people just want to give us a call at the office and just say, I'm definitely coming, I'll pay next week or soon, that would be great. But as long as we can get some rough numbers so that we can get it to Mawson Lakes, so that we had that cut-off period of the 14th.
All right, 14th of October, that's what we're looking at. So you give Leanne a call or Harness Racing SA a call, book your seat. And look, if you're not going to be there and you find out before the 14th and you've made your booking, make sure you call Leanne and cancel. So don't mess them around with numbers. So just let it run smooth and we'll have a good time there.
Historically, everyone leaves it until the last minute, but we'd appreciate it if you didn't. It makes it a lot easier.
All right, so that's the Horse of the Year Awards. What else have we got?
Then we've got for Friday the 13th of December at Wayville.
Yeah, it's my wedding anniversary, Friday the 13th.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Happy anniversary. Yeah. Black Friday.
Yeah, that's me.
So that will come around fairly quickly after Horse of the Year. We've still got a lot of work to do. We've got track preparation. We're working with the showgrounds to find a good date to get another overlay onto the track and have it trial and workout ready. So we'd probably aim to have trials and workouts last week of November or second last week of November, towards that time, and then the lead up to the 13th. Okay. And I think, as Gary stated previously, we'd be looking at, fingers crossed, 8 races, but 8 starters in each race and all stands. So that's the aim. And this year it'll be a little different, where the showgrounds have actually pulled down the stables, the old stables and the old parade ring. So this year our plan is to put everything on the western side by those grandstands. So where that grassed area is behind the grandstands, that'll be our parade ring.
There used to be the parade ring when
many
Wayville
years
raced.
ago. So this year that'll be the parade ring, and we are looking at the stables behind that as far as tie-ups go for horses. So we'll have all that area, and everything will be on the western side, so much closer to the public. They won't have to walk away and come back and run back for their bets. All the vans will be there. So we're hoping, with everything close proximity to the public, that it'll be really popular.
Yeah, and it was really popular. Like 2 years ago in October, it was fantastic, a great night. How do people purchase tickets there? Has that been established yet, Leanne?
Yeah, we're in talks with Ticketek at the moment, just for general admission tickets. We're hoping that they'll be on sale mid to end of October, and that is purely general admission tickets. Any hospitality bookings are to be done through Harness Racing SA, just so we can keep tabs of what numbers we've got and keep in contact with the contractors so that they know about catering. We have already sold out the whole top of the Secretary's office, which is amazing. Someone's having a Christmas show up there. The President's Room underneath the grandstand is sold out for another Christmas show, which is what we're targeting. Corporate functions, you know, people can have their wind down Christmas shows there and have some great entertainment at the same time. So we've still got, the Bull Bar is still available for purchase, and also some underground in the members area. Those tickets are available as well, so they can be booked through us.
All right, that's Wayville, Friday the 13th. Anything else, Leanne?
Anything else? We've got Australian Drivers' Champs coming up on the 9th of November, which will be held in Hobart this year. Our representatives will be announced. It's Danny Hill and Ken Rogers. So they'll be flying down to wave the flag and support our state. And then in December, we've got the Young Drivers Championships in conjunction with the Inter-Dominions, so in New Zealand. And Brody Webster will be heading over on the 6th of December, and I think he's got a week and a half. I think he comes back on the 15th.
Yep.
And he'll be heading anywhere from Christchurch all the way down to Auckland. So I think five nights they've got involved for the kids to drive.
Yeah,
so
fantastic.
it'll be a great experience for Brody.
Well done to Danny Hill, Ken Rogers and Brody Webster. They're our representatives
They
for South
sure
Australia. They're going to
are.
fly the flag. Hey Leanne, thanks for your time. Great to have
You're
you here
welcome.
on Mobile Rolling, and we'll see you on track.
Thanks for having me.
There we go. There's
Thanks,
Leanne
Jim.
Ewen. We'll go to a break and we'll come back with more.
Just Wrecking Toyota, South Terrace Wingfield, for all your recycled and reconditioned parts. Our huge range covers almost every model in the vast Toyota stable. Proudly South Australian with over 25 years in the automotive recycling industry. So, if you want to save some serious money on anything Toyota, call us on 8359 4499 for fast and friendly service.
Welcome back to Mobile Rolling. It's Tipster's time,
Yes.
and Rocky's had time during our Leanne Ewen interview to go and do the form for Saturday night. Jack, the champion, is here.
Jim, Rocky.
What a great
G'day,
show it was
JB.
last week. You loved it without me last week, didn't you guys? Okay.
We did, yeah.
Now, this is how it works, all right? Originally, you guys were the tipsters.
Yep.
Rocky tipped like a sensation last season, all right?
Yeah.
Season 1 of Mobile Rolling, got the brains in with Jack to do it
Yeah.
against each other. The first couple of weeks, you were tipping like nothing, like it was just pathetic. So the executive director of the show, Max Beasley, said, listen, Jakesy, get on, stir these blokes up, get a performance out of them because they're tipping poorly.
Yep.
So I come along and go bang, bang, 2 winners, and now Max has got you where he wants you. You are tipping winners like champions,
yeah.
like you were before.
I know.
So that plan worked fantastically. Well
How's
done to
your
Max
form going
Beasley.
now?
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't
It's not
matter?
about me. It's about
I
you
see.
guys to getting you where you should be. Okay,
Yeah.
and that's what Max has achieved. I mean, seriously. So
Jeez, aren't you clutching at straws today?
after episode 5, you just sit back and relax. After episode 5. Now, last week, Jack picked the high achiever, $20
Very good
to win
tip.
at $6.10. Well done, Jack.
Well done, Jack.
Great best bet, $6.10. $10 each way, Doug's Limousine, $5.20 and $1.90 for the place. So, after episode 5, Jack is now on 16 points, and his bank total after episode 5 is plus $191. Well done, Jack.
Good on you,
Yep. So
Jack.
you can be proud. You can be proud of that. Rocky. Now, after
This will be good.
episode 5, Cano Imogen, $20 a win at $1.30. She
Yeah,
won.
played
Beautiful. So you get three points plus $6 profit out of her. Matt Cruiser, $10 each way. Winner. Beautiful.
Yeah.
$4.20 at $1.40. 3 points plus $36 profit. So after episode 5, Rocky's on 10 points and his bank total is plus $99. Well done, Rocky. Muggins.
Yes.
Last week, Cano Imogen, she won, $1.20. Tez Cora, 10 each way, 8th, didn't fire at all, minus $20 there.
Didn't have much luck, to be
No, not
honest.
much.
mate.
After episode 5, I don't know, do you
Bit like
reckon?
yourself.
After episode 5, JJ on 10 points,
Yep.
bank total minus $9. So John Bashara, Jack Bashara is leading the way, 16 points plus $191 in the bank. Well done, Jack.
Excellent,
What are we
excellent.
going to do this week? What are we going to give the punters? Well done to you. You're stirring the punters up, you're giving them winners. That's what we love to see. That's
Well,
what it's all about.
That's what it's all about, and I hope I can continue on.
Oh,
and
Chess should be pumped up. You should be saying, I will continue on.
Well, I
because
never-
when
Well,
Rocky
he knows
throws
there's
out
a
the
fair bit of
challenge.
luck being involved, mate. So he's just being honest.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, he was lucky. Yeah, okay.
I never get a big head about tipping winners.
Okay.
I mean, it's what happens.
Well,
It's
you,
art.
you can get chopped down the next
Oh,
week,
you
can't
could,
you? I mean,
you
look
could,
at
you
me.
could. Yeah.
What do you got, Jack?
Now listen, Saturday night.
Yes. Yes.
I think my best bet will be in race 8,
Okay.
and we're going number 4, Huey Johnson.
Huey Johnson, yes.
Yes.
Is challenging Huey Johnson. Almeria's tippy towing. Cabello Diablo's making ground 5-6 metres away. Now 5 metres away, but Almeria's going to hold on here. Huey Johnson's lifting in the centre, but in front it is Almeria. Second, Cabello Diablo, Huey Johnson.
Chris Nicol on the team, yeah.
Yep. I think it's been placed in its last 3 runs, and it's a small field.
Yep.
Will be suited by the race. I think Pints will lead, and I think it'll be able to slot in there somewhere. And with only 7 runners, I think this horse will win.
Okay, that's a $20 win bet on Huey Johnson.
Yep.
Now, what about the each way?
I think each way, race 5,
Yeah.
number 8, Yankee Clipper.
Okay.
Won by 16 metres last start
Yep.
in 157.4.
Yep.
Beat
Very
some
good run.
horses that are pretty respectable horses. And I think with the run on the fence, if Eddie leads, he's going to be right behind to the fence.
Yep.
If he doesn't lead, well, it'd be 3 the fence and just needs a split. But this horse is very impressive last start. I know he sat 1-1, but he won very, very convincingly,
Yep.
and he's got a good draw on Saturday night.
And he's just got better from
He's
his
got better,
trials
yeah.
to his races. He's just got fitter and fitter and better and better.
yeah.
Okay, so 10 each way, Yankee Clipper.
Yeah.
Rocky, what have
Tipping
you
well,
got?
Jack. Well, I like one in the claiming series, race 3, number 7, Solar Sonic.
Yes.
But he's got an 8-metre lead, Solar Sonic. He'd have to get awfully tired to get caught. And he went quickly down the back. And Solar Sonic comes to SA and wins, no problem. Solar Sonic just does it nicely. Sharp Magic is going to get up for second in front of Regal Knight.
I think it will get out to decent value because it's drawn 7 in a pretty good field. But
That's the win bet?
Yeah, it comes out like a rocket.
Yeah, Wayne got it out really quickly.
Yeah.
But I've got to say this, he did time it to perfection to get it out. There's probably a little bit more speed underneath it. I think Danny's driving this Saturday.
Yep.
But yeah, it did begin like a rocket and did the job that
Controlled
the
the
Hill
race
family
and-
wanted to do. Trained by Gary,
Yep.
Wayne and Danny's dad, and
Yep.
raced by Sue, their mum. So
Yep.
yeah, it's a good family horse for sure.
Yeah, so that's my $20 bet.
Yep, each
And the
way?
other, well, I'm not sure if it'll be good each way odds, but I really like the run of Scenic Rise last week.
Okay.
It's a dour type of horse, but the field I think is a little bit weaker than last Saturday, and it's just one of those horses that looks like it's gone all the time. And I think in the run you actually said it was under pressure 2 or 3 times, and it's still run home for second.
Yep.
And as I said, I think the field's a little weaker. It may go and sit in the death of game from the second row, and if it does, I think it's a good bet.
Okay, so each way, race 5, number 11 Scenic Rise.
Yep.
All right, my best bet, I'm going to go race 2, number 11 Smackwater Jack.
Smackwater Jack continues to run on. Long Tan Casanova behind those, and on the inside, battling away, Doug's Limousine. Steinman in front. Smackwater Jack continues to come at it though. Steinman in front. Smackwater Jack gets it. Smackwater Jack beats Steinman.
I think there's a lot of
That's the race
speed in
for
the
it.
race. 1800, I think, is probably its preferred distance, even though it's run well over 22:30.
Yep.
Claire Gable trains. You'd think that Shane Lean was training because it hasn't missed a race meeting
I
at
know,
all.
it goes
It just
round.
keeps going, but it's running with good
Consistent.
success and consistent.
Yeah.
And I think last week's run being snowed up on the inside will
Yeah.
help it recover because it's done
Yeah.
a lot of hard chasing. So, yeah, my win bet is race 2, number 11 Smackwater Jack.
Right, good
And
pick.
my each way is in race 1, number 11 What a Escape. Now, David Smith took this horse to Melton.
Yep.
He was beaten easily at Melton, didn't fire there at all. I think he's been racing against better horses. I think he drops in class. So I think
Sure
What a
does.
Escape might get the right card up, hopefully at the right time. So I think each way, What a Escape. That'll be my 2 bets for Saturday. And
Okay.
I need to get something with a bit of value to catch
Catch
this
up.
man who's
Well, you-
out in front, on the bit, travelling. But I think he's blundered with his tips this week. I think he's going to crumble.
No, definitely not. No.
Can you
no.
give me a strategy of how you're going to make up this 200? Is that
I just got to find a
Just tortoise in the
$50
head?
winner. I
Oh,
just
you're
got to
gonna
find a
go for it.
$50 winner.
Yeah,
That's
no,
all I've got to do, and I'll catch up because again, reminding you, Jack's leading. He's only 6 points in front of me.
Yeah.
On points.
Yeah.
But you get 1 point for every $10 that you are in profit with the bank. But anyway, that's it. We'll talk about that next week. Anything else before we close up? Because we've had enough of this.
Yep.
Jack's in front. We got to catch him.
We will catch him.
Okay,
If you're lucky, yeah.
if we're lucky. Okay, we'll be back shortly.
Hi, I'm Darryl Hall from Tyre Power Cheltenham, where you get the buying power of a huge range of tyre brands. We stock all major big brands: Toyo, Tumo, Mickey Thompson, Maxxis, Michelin. So come down and see me at Tyre Power Cheltenham.
Welcome back to Mobile Rolling, and here we are today down at Globe Derby Park with Wayne Hill. How are you going?
Yeah, good. Liz, yourself?
Yeah, really good. Well, I'm glad we were able to catch you. I know you're a very, very busy man. I'd like to address something that a lot of people don't understand is about barrier draws. You know, we a lot of people, they don't understand what it means. They've got no comprehension of where, you know, pole position 1 is, moving the way out the track, and what it means as in regard to who should win, who might they predict might win if they're looking at you know, the racing form for the day. Can you give us a little bit of insight?
Yeah, generally when the fields come out, the barrier sort of will determine quite a bit, but you know, also the worst barrier can be you know, work in your favour as well. Say if you're drawing sort of 7 you know, outside the front line and you've got a really fast beginner, that's a bit better quality than the ones underneath them. You can generally zip to the front and around our sort of smaller tracks here, Globe Derby and you know, Strathalbyn and things like that. You know, if you get to the front here, sort of you're halfway there really. So even the bad barrier draws can come to your favour. It just depends on the ability of your horse, what sort of assets your horse has as well.
Yeah, so it still ultimately comes down to the ability of the horse and driver combination, I can imagine. But something I noticed and looked up a couple of the stats was that, well, pole position 1 seemed to get the highest percentile for wins, but what shocked me was 5, 6 and 7 seemed to get in that order 2nd, 3rd and 4th as the highest next rankings. Yep. And that wasn't what I was expecting when I looked up the stats.
Yeah, so with the national rating system now, I think generally the better quality horses will probably draw worse. I suppose that is generally have small fields, so generally that is sort of wider outside the front line. So generally they'd be a little bit better quality horse than maybe the horses underneath them or horses drawn towards inside of the second line. So as I said, if you can draw a little bit wide and you've got a better quality horse and they've got a bit of speed out the gate, and you can zip to the front or work into a forward position, definitely half the battle around the smaller tracks, as I said. So you sort of got a little bit edge on your competition there.
And could you explain how are you given your barrier draw position? Because something a lot of people don't know as well.
Yep, so generally it was a random barrier draw, but now with the national rating system, they do go on national ratings, or there can be some certain criteria when the fields do come out that a certain national rating will draw a certain spot. So yeah, it generally is random, but now the national rating system is generally drawn from the lowest points to the highest points. I think it's from 1 to 4 will be the lowest points. Then I think 5, I think 7 and 8, the second lot of points. And then the horse with the highest points will generally draw 6, 7, and sort of probably 9, 10 positions like that, the worst barrier draws, I suppose.
Okay, and is it when you say the worst barrier draws, is that because it is further out on the track, or it's sort of in a position within the field where if there was to somebody come unstuck, there was to be an incident, you're more likely to not be able to get out and around it and take the front lead? Or?
Well, I suppose they just look at it as it's probably the horses with the higher points, so the better quality horses will have probably a tougher time getting to the race, drawing you know, where they've put them in either sort of 6 or 7 or 9 and 10. It's probably a bit more of a disadvantage, but as I said, it can work to your advantage if you do have a better quality horse that's got a bit of gate speed that's drawn outside the front line as well. So it can sort of work into your advantage as well. So it depends what sort of horse, what assets your horse has really, and the capabilities.
Absolutely. So, say for instance, you've had a few in of late, naturally. What sort of barriers have you been drawing with yours lately?
I've most of them today haven't drawn sort of overly flash, but you know, there's a couple there. I'm driving Daddy Longlegs later on. I think he's drawn about 4. Very, very fast beginner. There's a couple fast beginners underneath him, but probably I'll probably rather have drawn in this situation, maybe drawn 6 or 7. You do get a better swing off the arm, drawn a little bit wider, you get a bit more speed, and when you've actually drawn behind the car, it is a little bit harder to get out. The arms go back a little bit quicker than what the car does. So. get a bit more of a better fly out wide, have a bit more of a built-up speed, and probably in this situation, I probably would have rather drawn 6 or 7 than maybe 4. I think I would have had a better chance of leading, drawn a little bit wider.
Yep. So today's strategy plan then, when you go out, say with that position, what do you think you will have going through your head? What will be your plan of attack?
Well, basically with that horse in particular, his best position basically is out in front. So. I'll be doing what I can to find that position. He's never really won from anywhere else. So if I have to do a little bit of work to find the front or use him a little bit out the gate to find the front, well, so be it. That's his best position, and that's the spot I'll be aiming for. But if he can't get it, well, then we have to sort of look for plan B, which is probably just driving pretty conservatively. But if your horse has a certain position which is best, you sort of do your best to try and find it.
To find it, yeah, absolutely. Well, good luck today. We will be shouting and cheering you on from the sidelines. And thank you so much for your time. I know you're a very busy man.
No worries, Liz.
And
thanks for having me.
Back to you boys in the studio.
Etches. With over 30 years combined experience, we endeavour to make your presentation the best it can be. We specialise in all things corporate, from your company's major awards through to your club's trophy needs, as well as sports uniforms and equipment. Our giftware range is second to none, which you can view on eBay. All you do is just type in Etches. Etches is proud to be your one-stop shop, making everything a whole lot easier for you. Etches, proudly supporting harness racing in South Australia. Please come and see us at 142 Port Road, Hindmarsh.
Welcome back to Mobile Rolling, and Rocky, that was interesting with Wayne Hill talking about barriers and very, very, look, a lot of people probably put more influence into barrier draws than what they need to sometimes, but we've got some pretty very comprehensive
They are astute stats, aren't they? They're terrific. They're over a period of time for us, aren't they? Do you know how long?
No. Barrier 1, over 1800. Nearly 16% of Barrier 1 win over 1800 at Globe Derby. The interesting part is, what's his Barrier 5 is the second most successful barrier at Globe Derby over 1800 metres. And then there's Barrier 2. No. And then there's barriers 3 and 7, who are very, very close to barrier 2. So I suppose it surprised everyone is barrier 7, how close it is at around about 11%, 10.4.
Well, there's so many horses out there now, mate, that have got serious gate speed.
Yes.
And drivers are starting to use it, in particular guys like Wayne Hill, who are extraordinary at getting them off the arm.
Yep.
So to me, all it does sometimes is give punters a better price, because the lazy punters are going to draw them. I can't win this week, but they can. Yeah. No question they can.
And I think Jaden Brewer made the point in last week's show. He said that one thing that he learnt from when he first started driving was that I go back from the wide draw, but you don't necessarily have to. You can actually just come out, and then if there's a gap, you can squeeze in. So instead of being wide draw, pull back to last. And I think that's the mentality of a lot of the drivers now. And that's why we're seeing winners from wider draws. To answer your question, if there's a reason, that might be it.
That might be it.
Yeah. But anyway.
All right, mate.
That's about it.
About it, I reckon.
All right, so that's
another
it.
Ripping episode.
Episode 6, season 2 is now complete on Mobile Rolling, and look, we're going to keep going to episode 12 again for season 2, as we did in season 1. So we're at the halfway mark, Rocky.
Right.
And you're still ahead of me in the tipping competition.
It'll remain that way, you know. You just keep on having a little dig at it, but mate, you're so far back.
It's impossible. I've got no hope.
You'll bash.
I've got no hope.
You'll run with the ambulance.
I've got no hope. All right, that's it for Mobile Rolling this week. We'll be back next week.